I can talk about my experience, I guess the Olympic Dam one. So the structure is like when we came in, we had a bit of an introduction where we're introduced to the plant, a few like the charter values and the overall structure of the program, which at Olympic Dam is 3 rotations over 2 years for everyone except the mining engineers whose program is over 3 years. So you are placed into a team based on the discipline that you studied, and you're there for about 8 months where you get to learn the role. My personal experiences was doing a bit of crew time with production, which was great to get a feel for the people who are out there day to day running the plant. You interact with maintenance, electrical and control teams as well. So I did that for about a month, and then I came back, did a bit more office work, but still got out in the plant a lot. So over that 8 months, you get to learn the plant, the processes and the people. And then we put in preferences for our second rotation, which I guess is allocated based on the needs of the business, but they do factor in preferences. So if you did want to do something different, that's considered as well. And while you're doing the, I suppose, technical development side, there's the professional development, which is the global graduate program. You've got a series of workshops and ALPs, which is like learnings that you do throughout the year. It might be about, an hour, a couple of hours a week on top of the technical role. So you do things in groups, sometimes inter-asset, sometimes they're just within the asset you're at. So I'm at Olympic Dam in small groups working on projects or skills that you use to communicate, look at how you can best do your role. So that's kind of like, I suppose, in conjunction with the technical role, and helps you develop professionally as well, which you can kind of prioritize if you're wanting to get into more leadership or stay in a technical discipline. And then the third rotation as well, you have a bit of preference. You put in your preferences for that as well. So that's been my experience so far. But I found the program to be to be flexible, and if you want to tailor it a certain way, if you find like you start a rotation and it's not quite for you, your line leader is pretty good at trying to navigate that and find what best suits you and the business and how you can best offer the most amount of value. Yeah.
Joe, did you want to add anything to that at all?
It was quite comprehensive. I'll talk through exception that's a bit different from Western Australian iron ore. So Georgina mentioned the technical and professional. The technical are driven and guided through a graduate logbook here in Western Australian iron ore, which is led by your leadership or your supervisors as you sort of go through your rotations. Those rotations could be dependent on your department. For engineering, most engineering roles are all 4 rotations. At different mine sites, as previously suggested, again, mining engineers over a 24-month period will have 8 rotations. And what Georgina sort of talked about with the professional development, that would be your it's provided by the Global Graduate Program, all in the efforts to sort of funnel your skill set and develop you rather for the Global Business Case Challenge, which is presented at the finale, I guess, of your 2 years. And this is basically just to help you as a graduate come out with the best possible outcome into a full-time role, ready to settle in and sort of operate in a role that you like as you sort of develop in that direction. Also, I'll sort of cover, and I think I've heard about it at OD and BMA, is that there are graduate technical forums which allow for social networking and discipline development throughout the course of the 2-year period. And what that means is if you're a mechanical engineer, you may actually get the opportunity to spend a whole week with other mechanical engineers from other mine sites on one particular area of development over that course of the week, and you sort of upskill yourself. Usually it does cover a bit of expenses and time commitment, but it's really, really one of the highlights for most graduates as they sort of go through the program. Apart from that, it's Georgina explained it really well, and I've had a really fun experience. I will say as well, like the graduate program, it's much similar to being a normal employee in terms of your development. If there's something you really, really want to do or really want to see or, progress into, don't ever feel afraid to ask that question and have that conversation. I can say now, for me to be in my role, I actually initially got pushed back, and it was through really developing and having those conversations and, being persistent. I was actually supported by the end of it, and it was actually a really good opportunity. I've had a really, really wonderful experience here.